I want to start this video off by saying that I am a believer in free speech. I believe that everybody has the right to express their opinion, no matter what.
Whenever anyone says this, they are the type of person who can't handle when things are said about them in a way that doesn't stroke their fragile little ego.
We were so close. I'm recording this on February 24th. 4 days left in this month. I felt like I could finally do it. Go through a month without having to talk about somebody being stupid on social media. But such as the consequence when you are the doctor, professor, philanthropist, gynecologist, veterinarian, cafeteria lady with the big double D titties that serves you that slop on Mondays, professional dog walker, Burger King, onion ring connoisseur, McDonald's protester, dildo expertise, clit finder, San Francisco 49er cheerleader, diehard Denver Broncos fan, first black transphobic wizard in the Hogwarts universe, according to Twitter, sexiest black YouTuber, sexiest chef of all time, and forward-eyed gratitude mastermind whose civic duty is to teach the young minds on how to not be stupid on social media. Today's class is reactions to criticisms. Close your eyes and imagine a scenario. Imagine you are trying to figure out where to go once a social media app, let's say, for example, TikTok, is going to be banned from your American phones because your American government suddenly cares about your security and your personal information and your data. Yeah, that never really stuck with me, and they admitted that that really wasn't their end goal. And you are struggling to find an application to spend your time suffering through the brain rot of hot takes about interracial dating and skits that lead to someone dying, and all of a sudden someone comes up with an app known as Fanbase, an app where you could like, love, watch things, and interact with people. And most importantly, to the low IQ individual in the back, it's black owned. And as the owner of said application, you try to reach out to different content creators and influential individuals to come to your app so that it could gain traction. And you're getting some yeses, and you're glad that you're getting some yeses, but you reach out to one individual in particular, and they say no. Then they say, I don't really like the fact that it's black owned and that's really the only thing you're selling me on, because if it's just black owned, then really what's the fucking point of any of it? Which kind of an honest criticism, because you can have a bunch of different things, nooks and crannies that people would be interested in, but if all you're promoting to someone is that it's black owned, or if they're catching the vibe that the only thing you're focusing on is that it's black owned, that's kind of doomed to fail. And honestly, that's a pretty good criticism, knowing the track record of a bunch of people and how they fixate on things black owned, but they don't fixate on the quality of those black owned products. And you have one of two options as the CEO owner of said application. Take the criticism and do things better so that people aren't fixated on your skin color and the fact that you own an app and you know how to work technology. Or, for some reason, do the second option. What's the second option, Leon? Oh, I don't know. Dig up personal information about someone who gave you basic, honest criticism and try to revoke their black card because at one point in their life, they were married to a white man.
So Isaac Hayes III, the CEO and founder of Fanbase, made a 16-page slideshow about me on Instagram last night. It's already been deleted because he was getting eaten up in the comments for suggesting that I'm not black because my ex-husband was white. Yeah, 6 years ago, I got a divorce, and according to Isaac Hayes, that means I have no room to ever speak on any black issues and that I don't really support black people. Meanwhile, he's propping up a white man who's a racist and people with sexual assault allegations. But me saying that I don't want to join his app means that I don't support black people and I'm anti-black. So now that he's deleted this slideshow, he has so graciously invited me onto Fanbase in order to have a full, transparent conversation about why he chose to spend yesterday crashing out in my comments. I mean, it's really weird because you could do all of this on TikTok and on Instagram and on Threads. And now that everybody is deleting their account, now that you've lost money, according to you, $500,000 worth of investments have been returned to people who gave you money for your app. Now you want to talk on Fanbase. Now you would like to address your appropriate response to my unwarranted personal attack on you and Fanbase on Fanbase. The only person that got personal was you digging up photos of my ex-husband. I didn't say anything about you personally. I talked about your actions, Isaac. You are a grown-ass man who can't take any responsibility for your actions. And now that everybody is seeing your behavior on the Stubborn Jam screen in 4K, you're like, hey guys, come over to my bullshit app that no one's on and let's talk about it here. Remember when you accused me of clout chasing? Remember when you said I was chasing you for clout? Funny. I'll also say it's really interesting that this all started in defense of Drake. And now you're using Not Like Us on this gorgeous photo of me, which also I think that's a big part of this, right? You brought up my ex-husband because you know you can't call me ugly, right? You know you can't take shots at my looks. Oh, you wear too much makeup. Oh, you don't look good. Oh, you got like, you can't do any of those stupid personal attacks. So you have to dig back into my history and talk about my ex-husband. Meanwhile, you don't have any smoke for the men on this app who've talked about Fanbase or you. Men who are on Fanbase and are like, hey, dude, the platform sucks. You have nothing to say to them. Only smoke for me. You're never beating the misogynist allegations, Isaac.
And I'm just going to be honest. I'm just assuming, based on looking at this individual, he is too big for all this dumb shit. And he should not be going around trying to revoke individuals' black cards as a business owner because he got criticized for not really doing too much to promote his fucking social media app. And he knew this because he posted that thinking a bunch of people were going to side with him, but he deleted it because he's a pussy. And he thought it would be a great idea to spend 7 minutes of his time recording a video basically apologizing without really taking accountability, trying to say that I never attacked a black woman. I'm trying to hold myself accountable. I'm someone who is a fan of all these different things, and I'm a proponent of free speech.
But the narrative of misogyny and attacking black women is just simply not true.
Hey, Isaac, apology not accepted. Because part of an apology requires you to take responsibility for your actions. And it's very clear that you just want to make excuses. But again, I love receipts. And here we go, right here. You taking shots at a black woman's appearance because she dared to say, hey, focus on your app and getting it together so that it can compete with TikTok and Instagram. You've had it for over a decade. It should work better than this. And your response was, you can't spell and you have on too much foundation. What does her looks have to do with her criticisms of your app? It's also so convenient that when you talk about crossing the line, you don't get specific in what it was that you did in response to me critiquing your behavior. I'll get specific. You shared a photo, a 10-plus-year-old photo of me and my ex-husband on my wedding day to suggest that I'm not black enough because my ex-husband is white. And then when people rightfully called you on your misogyny, you said, oh, I can't be a misogynist. I campaigned for Kamala Harris. Which is interesting because if my white ex-husband negates my blackness, then how does that work with Kamala Harris and her white husband? Make it make sense. I will also say that it's quite telling that this non-apology focuses so much on your intentions and how your character was maligned and how dangerous it was for you. And not once did you talk about how dangerous it was for me when you chose to share multiple images of me on your TikTok, on your Instagram, and on Threads, and on Twitter with this caption, not like us. Okay, not like what? From day one, my issue was you amplifying abusers and shitting on black women. And you've had multiple days to say, I don't agree with their behavior. I apologize to the multiple black women, because not just the screenshot that I grabbed, you deleted a lot of the other things. And you have a long history of this behavior outside of just me. Okay, you didn't acknowledge any of that. Instead, you focused on how bad you felt and how unkind it was of me to say, hey, maybe don't prop up abusers. Maybe don't prop up racists. Maybe don't shit on black women. So, apology not accepted. Absolutely not.
You sad, bald, fat fuck. Allow me to help you out. You probably didn't get enough of your mother's booby milk as a child. You probably struggled to find a lot of people to give a damn about you doing anything in your development in society as an African American in the year wherever you were born. And you were struggling to find anyone to give a damn about your hard work and efforts. So you tried your absolute hardest to get people to co-sign you. And some people did. And the one time you got told no, you got reminded of all those times you felt like a loser, when you felt like no one cared. And instead of actually being a man and taking it on the fucking chin, you showed everybody how much of a loser you truly are. And you decided it would be in your infinite wisdom to attack somebody's character and black card because they didn't want to fuck you. And I'm quite certain nobody really wants to. And that level of desperation is the reason why a lot of people like you don't really see success in the long term. You might get it in the short term, but you're never going to see it in the long term. And I'm so happy that there are people like you that probably think to yourself, all publicity is good publicity. I see you were trying to reach out to this person and get them to talk to you on your app when you could do that on any application, but because nobody really cares about fan base, they only care about Twitter and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and your app is not really the app where people go to for that. You got chewed the fuck out for that too, and you're struggling to understand why people are currently on your ass. You're probably sitting in that chair wondering, why are people talking about me this way? Why are people bringing negativity to me? What did I do? I was just trying to uplift. You are a dumbass who deserves the criticism that you're getting. You decided to, instead of be a man, be a bitch. And the consequence of someone with a dick being a bitch is criticism coming your way rightfully. Because on what fucking planet did you think this shit makes any fucking sense? I know what it was. You thought that you got the great idea that you can't criticize her based off of anything, so you're gonna try to do it this way because you got a bunch of stupid people who fixate on interracial dating that will side with you. But then you realize that that's a small minority and the majority of people clowned your ass, so you had to pull the sympathetic card and be like, oh, I didn't hate on anyone. You failed. You fucking pathetic man. Focus on your application. Focus on your software. Focus on the fact that, a lot of people aren't really talking about fan base when they're talking about social media. And when they do, they mention the fucking CEO or the owner is somebody who hates black women. Great job promoting your app, buddy. You did a great job. In the long run, you're gonna see success that matters to everybody. You are a fucking embarrassment. You should be ashamed that you even tried that, because in the grand scheme, criticism is what everybody ends up giving. When you venture out on your own, you're going to get criticized. People are going to talk about your way of operating. People are going to talk about how you sound. People are going to talk about how you present yourself. People are going to talk about your execution. And if you truly feel like you want to be successful, some of it will actually be valid criticism. Some of it won't be. Focus on the valid so you don't make yourself out to be a sniveling little bitch responding to people who just tell you no because you think you're so important because your app is black owned. You fucking miserable individual. And to wrap this up for all my students in the classroom, criticism is good. Criticism isn't hate. Criticism isn't evil. Criticism isn't going to cut your ear off and make you eat it. Criticism is the circle of life. And if you can handle it well, I wish you luck on your successes, whether if you want to flip burgers at McDonald's or if you want to start up your own company, whether if you want to be a business owner, whether if you want to work for somebody's business. I wish you all the best. But if you're somebody like him, fuck you. Can't wait to see you fail. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.